Hello everyone, this is Mr. Lord, Dr. Professor, Darth Joker with this week's video. And this week I'm gonna go over, this will be a Star Wars video. I'm gonna go over like how Darth Maul is alive. Cause, okay, so obviously, he, has returned, he's been used a lot. Sam Witwer has done very well with the stuff he's been given. I've given my opinions of Maul Shadow Lord where I don't like it. Um, and but Whitwer was good. Anyway, but this is about okay, fact that it's never been explained how he's alive, and that does need to be explained. So I'm gonna go over what we know about Maul, you know in Star Wars, and go over ways in which how he could what the possible ways in which he could be alive. So I'm gonna go over like the possible ones. So and yeah. So with all that being said, on with the video. So here's what we know. So in 32 BBY during the invasion of Naboo, Maul was cut in half by Obi-Wan Kenobi. With the lightsaber, yes, the wound was cauterized, but his insides would have still either been burned severely or a lot of bleeding. Thought it would have generally been internal bleeding that's now external bleeding because he lost his lower torso. Now he was revealed to be alive, in the Clone Wars TV show when he was found by Savage Prince on Lotha Minor in 20 BBY, and Mother Talzin restored his mind because he was freaking crazy when Savage found him. Now he had found in the Shadow Collective, you know, that he had to rebuild multiple times. Gosh, here's one of the things that that has happened. Like this is one of my biggest issue with Maul Shadow Lord is that it's like Maul has to rebuild it a second time. Like I was like, okay, well you kidnapped by Sidious. I could see like when he was abandoned by the by a lot of his subordinates. But then when after the siege of Mandalore, like Maul was warning him to go underground, and then it's like, why did they betray him? It's like, are they concerned that they were with Maul? You would think they would be on the Empire's radar. But no, he has to they portray and now he has like a dude now it's like now we're at the third Shao Collective. Almost like it seems like it was like I don't know if it would technically be the second or the third. I think technically we're almost like at the third Shao Collective now. Like it's so retarded. Like what's he gonna do? Is it gonna be like Punisher on Netflix where he was like, "Oh, I'm sad. Oh, I'm sad. I don't want to be Punisher. Oh, by the way, now I gotta be Punisher again." His mom would be like, "I lost the Shadow Collective. Now I have the Shadow Collective. I lost it again. Now I gained it again." I was like, "Show him be a freaking mob boss." Anyway, now in Disney's timeline, he was killed by Obi-Wan on Tatooine in 2 BBY. Not much of a fight. I kind of wish it was more of a fight in Rebels. That would have been cool. Now in the Expanded Universe timeline, some dark side users. It's never said what group they're part of, but it's possibly the prophets of the dark side because Calicar 6 was a location that the prophets of the dark side were active in, and so in Year Zero, these dark side users brought Maul back to challenge Darth Vader on Calicar 6 for the title of Darth Sidious's apprentice. Basically, like those dark side users thought that there's too much light inside of Vader for him to be an effective Sith apprentice, so they decided to bring Maul back to basically challenge Vader for that spot. Now, it's not explained exactly how he was brought back. There were possible ones, but it was never explained how it happened. Now, one thing about Maul is that neither him, Sidious, nor Plagueis had access to ancient dark side techniques that would be required to survive being cut in half. Because there are ways to do something. I mean, you had Darth Sion in Knights of the Republic 2, how he had to do this some dark side, so he had like very advanced healing ability. Now he was like in constant pain. There was a price to pay, because a lot of dark side techniques do, there's great cost to them, which makes Sidious is a state. I mean, the dark side is a pathway to many things, that are deemed unnatural. Basically, it makes sense that something that's unnatural would have a price. Maybe Disney should take notes on that. Just saying. And so yeah, Darth Plagueis, of course, was researching like trying to stuff about like midichlorians, life, essence transfers. Like the Darth Plagueis novel, however similar events are in Disney's timeline. Plagueis was doing a lot of research when it comes to like like resurrection, essence transfer stuff like that. Disney hasn't really gotten into like Plagueis too much. And I hope they don't touch him. I mean, they already put him in the acolyte for whatever reason. Anyway, but yeah, so I mean, there are ways for for a Sith to survive being cut in half, but it is very difficult. And neither Maul, Caesar Plagueis had access. That's essentially what it is. And I don't know if Maul has the if Maul would be able to do it. I mean, those are very difficult. Sidious, probably could if you learned that. Plagueis definitely could do it if you learned them. But yeah, I mean that's just what we know about Maul. Now for the possible options for as to how Maul's alive. First one is resurrection. So you know, so one's like so basically this one similar to like the Night Sisters reanimation but more advanced. So Maul's actually alive. He can actually do stuff. So basically, you have dark side users similar to the group in that Calicar 6, and the Night Sisters stole Maul's corpse from Naboo and resurrected him using advanced dark side techniques that the Sith didn't have access to. Whereas to like missing text, you know, basically it being so hard that Caesar Plagueis just weren't able to, and therefore the Maul wasn't able to. And then due to the fact that Maul lost his lower torso, dark side users and Night Sisters have to give him robot legs. Now, second option is cloning. Basically, would be like Night Sisters clone Maul, and then to sell the lie that the clone is the real Maul, Talzin had the clone be given robot legs, because the clone would have memories of Maul getting cut in half by Obi-Wan. And as far as how the Night Sisters got cloning, I mean, look, people associate clone with like Kamino and Sparty. Those aren't the only cloners in the galaxy. So, one thing you gotta think of, so Dathomir, so the original habits were the Rancor, and then the Quad took over, basically took over the planet, and they were outside of Celestials. The Quad was like the most advanced race in the galaxy. Then, after they devolved to the Kui and all that, Dathomirians took over, and they gave knowledge to multiple races, and maybe cloning was involved with it. And so, they would try and figure out how the Qual did clothing. And then the other Night Sisters could do mercenary work or honeypot schemes to get access to cloning tech. And so because there are multiple races that do cloning, there are multiple plans. It ain't just Camino, it ain't just Spari creations. Like there's a lot. And now for both options, well, basically, Maul went crazy due to the whole process of like resurrection or cloning, and due to his anger at Obi-Wan. And so, like, basically, what happened is he, due to how crazy he got, he like killed everyone on board, killed everyone on the Lothomire or on the ship. Like, whether it's like he's in a billion Lothomire, where he's on a ship that was just in the area, who knows? But basically, caused himself to be stranded on Lothomire. And so, yeah, so now, I mean, look, talking about resurrection, I mean, he he died and came back. Whatever he saw in the afterlife, like whatever, like all happened, like like he was seeing some, like, see some things that could drive him insane. And he's angry at Obi-Wan, and basically what happened is he went crazy and then killed everyone and caused himself to be, stranded at with a minor. So yeah, so now as far as what option's better, I actually think the clone one's better. I think it causes like the least issues because like Qui-Gon's like sacrifice and all that. Um, so, and yeah, like it's the least problems. Like, and then yeah, with when basically a lot of people try when Talzin be like morally gray. Where now she's the leader of the Night Sisters. She is freaking evil. So yeah, and then yeah, so in this but yeah, but my thing is like there has to be an explanation. Like at some point, there has to be like, oh, how's Maul alive? Oh, he was just pissed off at Obi-Wan and survived. That's not how the Force works. That's not. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah. So with this, there has to be an explanation. Like whatever it is, there just needs to be one. Like that is the biggest problem. That there's just no explanation. It's like, oh, he was angry. Anger can't do that. Not with what all Sith techniques Maul has access to. I mm, yeah, like there has to be an explanation at some point. And that's it. Did y'all like this video? Did you dislike this video? Do you agree that there needs to be an explanation for why Ball's alive? Do you disagree with me and think that, oh no, he just got pissed off at Obi-Wan? That's good enough explanation. I don't think so. So, if you do agree, do you think it's cloning? Do you think it's resurrection? Or you think it's something else? You know, because those were like the two things, with the duel on Calicar 6. That those were two of the possibilities regarding like how Maul came back in the EU there. With the other one being like maybe it was like a vision or something of Maul. But yeah, so an explanation I think it was needed. And cloning is the one I prefer because it does cause like the least problems. But yeah, if what you agree with me, disagree, like this video, dislike this video, put all that in the comments, like, share, subscribe, all that stuff. Look forward to the next video.